Evening guys. So in my earlier video I was talking about this General Lee and how I was planning to rip these seats. So the first part, I'm going to be ripping the passenger side one. So the first part of that is to thin it out here on the back using a Dremel. So on my Dremel I have this flex, I can't remember what it's called now, flex shaft. So that gives you this nice small, you can hold it almost like a pencil, so it's really easy to control. I'm going to try it first. I have this sanding block in here, or this sanding drum. I'm going to try this first. If it seems to be going a bit too slow, I'll probably go to something a bit more aggressive, steel bit or something like that. So yeah, so let's just get going here. Alright guys, so that is going a bit slow, so I'm going to switch this out for a steel bit, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I switched out to a round bit here. Probably will end up going back to the sanding drum a little later because I do want it to be thin. I don't want it to look like it just ground a hole through it. So let's get back to this. Okay guys, that's going a bit better. You don't need to sit there and watch me Dremel through all that. So I'll be right back when I've gotten it to a spot where I'd like to leave off. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so back on my bench here now. So you can see, well, it's hard to see, but you can hear anyways, I've ground this down using my Dremel. Like I said, the flex shaft attachment that I have is really great for this kind of stuff. It really gives you a lot of control, and you can be really precise on where you want to be with the Dremel. If I can get this in the light just right here, let me see. You can see it a bit there. So I've ground it down so thin that you can see the light actually coming through the plastic. So that's what you want. You want to go as thin as possible without actually breaking through. So I'm going to try and poke through here with my knife. I still may have to go back and do a bit more grounding, but I'm just going to give it a try here and just see. Looking for my old knife. Just give me 1 second. Always prepared, as usual. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to use a very old hobby knife and just try and poke through where I thinned it out. So you can see, even though the plastic is translucent there, it's still not thin enough. I want the knife to easily be able to poke through. Even here in the very thin areas, you're still not able to poke it through. So I need to go back and grind this out even more. I'd almost like to get it paper thin, is what I'm really looking for. So I'll just go back and do a little bit more grinding, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'm back. So you can see there, thinned it out quite a bit more. And I just poked my knife through in a couple of spots there, so I'll just continue on with that. The thing with poking your knife through should give you a nice ragged edge, which is what you want. Or at least what I'm looking for here is what I want. So you can see there my knife is easily going through here now in a lot of spots, a lot of places. So you can see there, gives you nice jagged edges, just like the seat is ripped. You know, if you just go and try and poke holes through it, you know, they just look like they're drill holes because the edges are still really thick, and you know, there's some roundness to it and stuff, which is not really what you want, or at least not what I'm looking for in this build. Just looking for, you know, ragged, ripped type of seat. So I'll just continue on with this till I get the holes the way I want, and then when I come back I'll just show you how I'll finish those off. This hole here, by the way, is a hole for the roll bar. It's not a hole that I made. So just give me a few minutes, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is what I'll be using for the sponge in the seat. Excuse me. These are just makeup sponges. Actually, anybody who's watching this video who might be new to modeling, the makeup section at the drugstore or at the dollar store, that's your best friend when it comes to picking up stuff for modeling, particularly for weathering, I find. You'll get a lot of really good cutting tools, endless grits of nail files for doing your sanding and stuff like this. You know, all kinds of powders for doing weathering, really nice soft brushes for doing weathering. The makeup section is excellent place. You can use the nail polish, thin it down with lacquer, spray it on, you get some really cool colors there. So, you know, don't be shy when you're at the dollar store or the drugstore to go over and have a look around. As well, at the dollar store, if you go to the art area sections or areas for doing beading and stuff like this, you get some really good cutters. You know, these kind of sprue cutters. So, you know, don't get roped into buying, you know, thinking you need to have Tamiya stuff, you know, brand name stuff, Iwata and all this stuff. I mean, go to the dollar store, you can get tons and tons of stuff for a fraction of what you would pay at a hobby store or order online or anything like that. So the dollar store should be your best friend when it comes to modeling. As an example, these cutters here are brand cutters. These are Citadel. I think I paid $20, $30 or something like this. A lot of times you'll hear people complaining about these jaws breaking off and stuff. It's true, and that's very true. Here's a set that I bought from China for $2. Matter of fact, I bought, I think, four or five sets of these, because $2, I mean, you know, next to nothing really. Free shipping, so you probably wait 3-4 weeks for them to show up. But I've had these for years now, and I've cut everything with these thick sprue, everything. And these are sharp as the day I bought them. I've been using these now for years, and they're as sharp as the first day I got them. You can see the jaws are really nice and thin. You get really nice close cuts with these. So yeah, same thing with buying airbrushes. I mean, you know, we're painting pieces of plastic, so in my opinion, we don't need a $200 airbrush to do that. So anyways, sorry guys, bit of a rant there, but let's just get back on topic. So what I'll do here is I'll put the sponge in behind. I'll cut a piece off and put it in behind, and I'll ratty this up a bit, the sponge, tear it up, whatever, and then I'll just paint and weather that and glue that in there. If this was an old car, say something from the 50s where they had the steel springs, you could do the exact same thing. You could get some wire, bend it into shape, put it in behind there to have the springs showing through. So anyways guys, that's my idea. Whether it works out that way or not, we shall see, I guess. But I'm using this generally build kind of as a test bed for a few things. I want to use the exact same method here for doing the rust on the body. I want to do the exact same thing as I'm doing here, except for the sponge of course, but I want to thin it out from the back, poke through with the knife to get nice jagged rust holes. And again, just let me get a different color sponge and maybe you'll see it a bit better while we're here. So that white, the camera might blow that out a bit. So there you can kind of, geez, I'm losing my own light here. So there you can see what I'm going after. So like I said, once that's rattied up and dirtied up, I'm thinking it might look okay, but we'll see. So anyways guys, sorry if this video went on a bit long. When I come back, I'll have one of these seats finished. I want to try and do some wrinkled up, oops sorry, I completely out of frame here. I want to try and do some, I don't know why my light is. So I want to try and do some wrinkled carpet and stuff here. You know, just showing that the carpet is let go from where it was and junked up and stuff. So the way I'm going to try and do that is I'm going to use embossing powder for the carpeting in this car, but over on this side I'm going to use some wet tissue paper, like the kind we get in Christmas gifts. So we should have a ton of that kicking around now. So I'm going to put that down here, you know, do a few wrinkles into it, set it with some white glue, and then once it's set up hard, then I'll put the flocking down and we'll see how that turns out. Front seat, gonna do the same thing I did here. I don't know if I'm gonna tear it up here or not. Probably not. I probably won't do that. So yeah, so guys, that's my plan. So again, sorry for rambling so much, but next time you see this, hopefully I'll have it, I'll be getting ready to paint, hopefully, next time I show this. So anyways guys, thanks a lot for holding in through all that if you made it to the end, and as always, thanks for watching and hope you stay tuned.